as Tom has asked, if we could take our seats. And while we're thinking about it, please turn the sound off on your cell phone. Or just turn it off. All right? I've done that because I didn't want to see mine jumping up and down at all. So if everybody would be reminded to do that, please. Good morning. All right, way to go. Now, Atkinson would have said, good morning. And he'd want to say, howdy. All right? So, and then he'd ask you to do it again. So let's do it again. Good morning. All right, that's the way to go. We're pleased to have each one of you. I am Carlos Johnson, the current chair. I don't think anybody needs to know that, but Louise put it in here, and then I will be talked to later. You know, if I don't say that. Matter of fact, Bill Balhoff, who's the chair of the AICPA, he says Barry will coach me later, so I get coached a lot. But we are pleased that you're here, and to open our meeting, we will have the national anthem. If you would stand, please, and face the flag. You know.
Oh, say
there you go.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, their balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Just want to share with you that it's customary for the chair to provide a gift to the board member, to the NASBA board members. So after much discussion between Pam and myself, we decided on the American flag and a contribution to the Wounded Warrior Project. So just wanted you to know where some of the resources that we generate, where they've gone. We've done a lot this year. We have expanded the definition of a test. We tackle the challenge of firm mobility. And assuring all the boards that the language is just there for you to use should you want to use it, so that we achieve uniformity. We have, obviously, we now have individual mobility in 52 of the 55 jurisdictions, and kind of give you a hint as to the fact that where are those other three? Well, there's a lot of water around each one of them. So if you're going to one of those places, got water on all sides, I suggest you may want to check out as to whether or not you have firm individual mobility. Now we do have in place, we got the language. I mean, everybody requires to sit for the exam, the baccalaureate degree, 150 hours of collegiate education, the exam, and 1 year's experience. But we still have three jurisdictions who have not yet got the language, the appropriate language into their statute, and obviously that's a high priority for us. Also, this year we created a for-profit entity that will serve other professions. Within NASBA, we serve the state boards, but we have to have a means of being able to create and revenue and retain good people. So we know there's a need in the professional world for an entity that can evaluate transcripts for the various professions. So we have created this for-profit entity. It's called AQUO, which essentially in Latin means equal, and that's under the direction of James Suh, and hopefully you'll get to meet him. So we will talk about, as we go forward, we'll talk about what happened this year, and Walter will talk about in his address to you guys tomorrow. He will talk about his thoughts and visions for the next year. The theme of our meeting is relevance, and I'll discuss that for a few minutes today. The DC, and when we look for a place to have the annual meeting, obviously we had great attendance in Maui, but we were looking for a place to compete with that. Not quite as warm here, but you just can't be in a better location than Washington, D.C., the seat of our government. We have 53 of the 55 jurisdictions represented, 141 delegates, 44 associates, 49 administrative staff and legal counsel, and guests. And I know those numbers don't tick and tie, but if you add in the guests, for which that number kind of floated around, we have approximately 350 people in attendance, and that's not counting the spouses. We have guests from the AICPA, from CPA Canada, and from the National Society of Accountants, and we have about 400 board members. And when you look at the fact that we have as many here as representing the various jurisdictions, we have hit a home run. So just want to make sure that you are aware of that. One of our responsibilities is to provide an effective means for the state boards to exchange information. We do that a lot through focus questions. We do that a lot through quick polls, other means in which we want to share information among the boards, and we are always looking for uniformity. That's why we have the Uniform Accountancy Act. And that's very important to us, so that we know that states have got a model out there, should they so choose to use that. And each one of you as a state board member and as the state board itself are very important to us, because without you, we do not exist at all. So we just definitely want you to know that. As you well know, some of the boards are all over the place in terms of the composition of the boards. We have certain boards of which have all CPAs. We have certain boards that'll have one public member or maybe two public members. Then we have one board that has more public members than it has CPAs. So our composition is varied, and you just always want to look at that when you're thinking about another state. And the public members have brought a dimension to us that we did not have when it was all CPAs. The Oklahoma board has two public members, essentially, and that they bring a different perspective, and they provide good input to us. So now, also, everybody's got a name tag, right? I had one. It's around here somewhere. But you should have, you got a name tag, you've got to, tells you who you are and who you're affiliated with, and whether you're a delegate or an associate, or whether and then if it's an officer or a director, there's my name tag. I put it right up there where I could see it. But if it's an officer or director or speaker, we have added ribbons to those name tags. So you'll know if you've got an itch that needs to be scratched, talk to a NASBA board member. They got a name tag on it. Tells you who they are. We always, as part of our tradition, we always ask the members of the accountancy board and the EDs who are attending their first meeting to stand. So if I could have you do that, please. No applause. All right. I know we have several. Okay. Thank you very much. I can see you guys follow instructions well. We have approximately 80 new members coming on to state boards. And 80 members go off. In Maui, I talked about get involved. Help attract the best and the brightest into the profession, because those people are more convenient to regulate. And I'll speak about that a bit more, but for these two board members, I hope you do get involved. And there are many ways for you to do that. And you can offer your services to your constituents in your home state. Now, as we get into the program, Louise's notes say I should take a minute to recognize guests. No way this can happen in a minute. So please bear with me as we work through this. And I'm going to recognize the guests and not the speakers, because all the speakers will get recognized later. Now, in this case, let's hold our applause, because you're going to wear your hands out if you don't, and that means the last 2 or 3 people that get introduced won't get much applause at all. Everybody's tired of doing that. So obviously, you look at your attendance list, you will see that we have guests from the IRS, from the DOL, the SEC, the FAF, the PCAOB, which you'll hear later from Jim Doty, who is the chair of the PCAOB, and then Jeanette Franzel, who is a member of the PCAOB, will be in and out, and so you may have the opportunity to speak with her. We have approximately 20 representatives of the Canadian accounting profession, which is now the Chartered Professional Accountants. Kevin Dancy. Kevin, would you stand, please? Kevin is the CEO of the Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada. Then we have one representative from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Bermuda. Is that individual in the room? Okay. Then, there we go. All right. Thank you. Then we have a representative from the National Chamber of Statutory Auditors of Poland. I've spoken with him several times. Right there. Okay. We have 15 representatives, approximately 15 representatives from the AICPA, and we have Sue Coffey, who is Senior Vice President, leader of that team. Sue? Anybody wants to know about peer review? Talk to Sue. Then we have 23 representatives from state societies. We have 2 representatives from the National Society of Accountants. We have Marilyn Newau from Hawaii, and John Ames from their national office. We have 3 representatives from Prometric, and you guys know that the CPA exam is a partnership of 3 different parties. The AICPA, who prepares and grades Prometric, who provides the computers, the seat time, and which is a huge obligation. So from Prometric, we have its CEO, Michael Brannick. Michael, there he is. Stand up, please. So these people can, not all these people know you like we do. All right, thank you. Michael has been a great partner for us to work with. He understands the significance of what it means to provide the exam timely and in a secure environment, and his people work at that. And we have approximately, it's a little north of 99% satisfaction by the candidates who are taking the exam. That is outstanding for a professional examination. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. Then we have Manuel Flores, Secretary of the Illinois Department of Finance and Professional Regulation. I believe that's your first time to be here. We welcome you. Then we have representatives from Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG, and other significant accounting firms. And then we got people just like me, Carlos E. Johnson, PLLC, and you're just as important to us as the larger firms. We need your participation. Then we have several past chairs, and some of you, if you were at the meeting last night, you heard Andy Minerovich say that he was a starting guard for the Stanford team and played in the Rose Bowl, but I've forgotten what year. Pardon? Oh, it's USC, that's right. What was the year of the Rose Bowl, he said? Andy? 44, that's right. So 30 years later, he was chair of NASBA. Sandra Saran, 84-85. Please stand and just remain standing. If you would, I'll move through these. Jerry Shine from 89 to 90. You notice you only get one shot at this. The staff make sure the bylaws say that. Nathan Garrett, 92 to 93. Ronnie Rudd, 95-96. There's Ronnie in the back. John Green, 96-97, center. Milton Brown, 98-99. Milton and I served a number of years on the UAA committee. John Peace, 2000 and 01. Barton Baldwin, 01 to 02. Michael Conaway, 02 to 03. Michael is a U.S. congressman. He's been here, but he was leaving at some point today to go to the district, so he may have left. David Vaught, who you will hear from later, 03, 04. Michael Weatherwax, 04, 05. Sam Cotterell, 07, 08. Tom Sadler, 08, 09. Billy Atkinson, 09, 10. Michael Daggett, 2010, 11. Mark Harris, 2011, 12. Galen Hansen, who is the immediate past chair, 2012 to 13. So, did I miss anybody? Anybody come that we did not get identified? These individuals, through their participation, have continued to provide the chair, the vice chair, and the CEO with their advice and counsel, and it's always done in a meaningful manner. So thank you very much. Now you will find in your materials an evaluation form. Let me remind you, please fill that out because we do review each one of those, and you may turn those in at the registration desk. Also, for those of you that have a sleeping problem, we are videoing these presentations, and you'll be at 2 a.m. in the morning. You'll be able to find those on the NASBA website, which is nasba.org, and obviously that'd be a great sleeping pill. And this is a great opportunity for networking. That's in all my years of public service, that was one of the major attributes. As I serve as a mentor in our office in Oklahoma City, that's my, share with them, be sure you know your fellow CPAs within the state and those CPAs that you interact with, because that's how you will expand your knowledge, develop relationships, people you can call when you've got a technical problem. You just need to have a conversation, and so that's the be sure that we do that, and so therefore we have created what we're calling, set aside a separate room that we are calling a conversation cafe. Now we would prefer that you spend most of your time in here, but the conversation cafe is a place where you can sit down and talk with others. There'll be coffee, etc. in there, and that's in the Independence Room on this floor. Also, if you wish to chat via social media, please use the hashtag NASBA1, then NASBA 14, capital DC. So that is the hashtag. Okay. Now, when we will have a Center for Public Trust activity at the end of the day. Then we will have the gala tomorrow evening at the National Museum for Women in the Arts. And we have a group of guests who are spouses and guests who are touring Mount Vernon today. Then, so tomorrow night at the gala, you will need your name tag. So put that in your pocket if you would do that, please, because you have to have that to get in. Then we certainly have a number of guests. I'm just so pleased that we were able to attract the quality of speakers that we were able to do or to find. So we'll get all of those introduced to you. Then the registration desk has a list of, the script says museums, then it says restaurants. Let's flip that. It has a list of restaurants, which all of you will need tonight, maybe, and then the museums. So there's, Louise told me about a different one yesterday, a new one that she went to called the News Museum. She said it was just outstanding. So be sure you pick up that list, and because it's just not only is it a great professional city, but it is just it's a great place to extend and expand your education. And with that, I'd like to introduce Robert Tadero, who is chairman of the DC Board of Accountancy, and then he will be followed by the Honorable Vernon C. Gray, mayor of the district. Robert.